What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here with your $1,400 third stimulus check update. This is a big week as we're expecting the $1,400 third stimulus check package to be finished this week and possibly voted on in the House of Representatives, taking us very, very close to the end goal. Included in this is $1,400 stimulus checks for adults, $1,400 stimulus checks for all children, and $1,400 stimulus checks for adult dependents and college students this time around. In addition to that is $3,000 to $3,600 child stimulus checks paid to you via monthly stimulus checks of $250 to $300 per child, $250 for children over the age of 6 through 17 per month, and $300 per month for children under the age of 6, $300 per month or $3,600. Democrats are already pushing to make this a permanent increase, not just a one-year increase. In this third stimulus check package is a lot of different buckets of money that we call that a lot of different people are going to be eligible to get, such as mortgage and rental assistance, child stimulus check, paid sick leave, possible hazard pay, $1,400 stimulus checks, $400 per week unemployment boost, and much more. I'm going to give you all the latest details of what is going on and when we should expect that in this video. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe down below so you don't miss out on updates on all these different buckets of money that we cover here on this channel, along with also student loan forgiveness, which is becoming a very real possibility, and a Social Security increases of possibly $2,400 per year. We cover it all here on this channel. And if you can, give us a like. It really helps out our channel. All right, first, let's go to a recent interview with a White House correspondent on basically the battle going on right now over the stimulus checks, the income limits for the stimulus checks, and the $15 an hour minimum wage, which may prove to be a roadblock in this package.
Let's first start with this balancing act for Democrats. You heard Caitlin detailing these emerging splits in the Democratic Party, specifically over the minimum wage and the stimulus checks, who should get them, what the threshold is for income. Is there a risk here that Biden's first big bet, this COVID relief deal, ends up falling apart?
Well, there is a risk. And let me tell you two words: Joe Manchin. Joe Manchin is somebody who is a very moderate Democrat, West Virginia, and he came out and said, and he got other moderates to agree with him to say, look, I don't want it to be $150,000. I'd rather it were $100,000 top earning per couple if you're to get these stimulus checks. And, you know, now it's much more than that. So I think there's going to have to be some give on the targeting of these stimulus checks. And the president has indicated that might be okay with him. The minimum wage, you know, you heard Bernie Sanders say they're going to try and find a way to make this happen. But the president kind of threw in the towel when he spoke with Norah O'Donnell, and that's got lots of progressives upset. So he's got to keep his 50 votes together, and that's becoming more and more difficult.
That $15 an hour minimum wage is going to prove to be very tricky, especially because we have a lady called the parliamentarian who is going in the Senate who is going to decide whether or not the $15 an hour minimum wage can even be passed through the reconciliation process. Now, if she says, no, it can't be passed through the reconciliation process, well, the Democrats can actually still push it through even without her approval in the Senate. But we have recent news that the White House and Joe Biden, President Joe Biden, is saying that if she overrules and says that the $15 an hour minimum wage should not be included in the stimulus check package, then they're instructing Vice President Kamala Harris, who will be the deciding vote in the reconciliation process, she'll be the 51st vote, to not vote for it and not go against the parliamentarian because, well, technically the parliamentarian decides if it's legal, even though they could still possibly pass it without it. Now, the problem with this is that you're kind of damned if you do and damned if you don't, because, well, if Joe Biden takes this $15 an hour minimum wage out, he's going to make a lot of people unhappy, AOC, Bernie Sanders, and a lot of the progressive Democrats. But if he leaves it in, well, then we might not have enough votes with Joe Manchin and Kristen Sinema, as Senator Joe Manchin is quickly becoming the Mitch McConnell of the Democratic side in the Senate. So it's kind of a tough situation. The problem with the $15 an hour minimum wage is that if they don't pass it through this stimulus package, it's probably going to die because if they don't have 50 votes for it now, bundled in with the overall package, well, then Joe Manchin and Kristen Sinema are surely not going to vote for it as a standalone bill. They're totally against it. There's a chance they'll vote for it in with the package because, well, all the other things we need, and yeah, maybe there's one or two things you don't agree with completely, but you're still going to pass it for the greater good. But if they take that out and try to pass it as a standalone bill, well, that's probably not going to happen. I think at best, they might be able to get it maybe done next year after the pandemic is hopefully over, or possibly go with a Joe Manchin compromise where Joe Manchin says that he'd be willing to go up to an $11 an hour minimum wage in his state, which is West Virginia, which is, considered one of the worst off states right now. And even that would be a 50% increase, with the federal minimum wage being at $7.25. If we went up to $11, that's about a 50% increase. Remember, right now, if we go from $7.25 to $15, that's more than double. Even though it takes until 2025, that's a big increase. And a lot of people are concerned that the prices, such as a McDonald's hamburger and gas and food at Walmart, everything that has, all these businesses have tens of thousands and millions of employees, are going to suddenly have to pay much, much more for labor, which is going to make prices go up. That's one of the hard parts about getting this $15 an hour minimum wage done.
Meanwhile, Aisha, progressives are hammering Biden and Senate Democrats for talking about the stimulus check being $1,400 for individuals. The way that they get that figure is you combine with the December checks for $600 per individuals. That makes $2,000. But after the December deal passed in January, Biden, Harris, Warnock, and Ossoff in Georgia, they weren't talking about cutting a $1,400 stimulus check. They were talking about $2,000. As our friend Mehdi Hassan says, this is a broken promise in the view of progressives. Is that fair?
Well, I think this is something that was dealt with, and as you said earlier, this was something that was dealt with a bit clumsily. This issue of whether the $600 was a down payment on, and that they would get $2,000, but certainly some voters likely heard that they were going to get $2,000 checks, and now they're talking about $1,400 checks, and it may not even go to the same people, or not as many people may get the $1,400 checks. So this is something about messaging and the message that you send forth, and being clear when you're campaigning and making those promises exactly what people are going to get, because they're going to know what shows up in their bank account.
Yeah.
I am skeptical of whether people, or how much individuals are really looking at, okay, am I going to get $1,400? Am I going to get $2,000? I think that because they got the $600 in the past, I'm not sure whether voters, how much they will hold Democrats to account for that. But overall, people are looking for help. They're looking for something that is going to make a difference.
So first of all, let me say, because, I follow these details every day. I listen to what everybody's saying, both sides, president, non-presidents, everybody, is the checks were supposed to be $1,400. They were supposed to increase the $600 to $2,000. So I understand how a lot of people might think that $2,000 meant an additional $2,000, but that's not really what it was supposed to be. This goes all the way back to former President Donald Trump, when he wanted to increase the small $600 checks to $2,000. Remember, President Donald Trump came out and said that, and at the time he wasn't going to sign the second stimulus check bill. Remember, it passed the House and passed the Senate, and it went to the president, and we're like, all right, cool, it's done. And then all of a sudden he's like, yeah, I'm not going to sign it because these stimulus checks are too small. And we're like, what? And we're like, well, at first we're like, okay, that's great. And then a second we're like, well, the Republicans don't want to vote for it. And we're like, but you're the Republican president. Your own people don't want to vote for it. And then, so then it passed the House, the Cash Act, and they sent it over to the Senate. And well, what happened? Republican Mitch McConnell sent the bill to his graveyard to die. He literally didn't even let us vote on it. That Cash Act was to increase the stimulus checks to $2,000. So that was basically an additional $1,400 on top of the $600 we got. So it was $1,400 supposed to be all the way, going all the way back to that Cash Act. Of course, we know Mitch McConnell let that bill die, didn't even let it go for a vote. It would have passed in the Senate. We had about enough Republicans to pass it, but Mitch McConnell didn't even put it to a vote, and that probably cost him the Senate, where he's no longer the majority leader. And now the Democrats control the House, the Senate, and the presidency, likely because of that one move that Mitch McConnell did. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments.
And I think that if they don't see some material changes in their, their own predicaments in their own life, that's what Democrats are gonna have to pay a price for.
And Gloria, while dealing with all this, the new Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer is also trying to fend off possible primary challengers from the progressive left. At home in New York, the New York Times writes, quote, armed with a sweeping set of policy promises, he's courting the activists, organizers, and next generation elected officials in New York who would likely make up the backbone of any effort to dethrone him should one ever arise. It's kind of the Ed Markey approach to keeping his Senate seat, fending off the challenge from Joe Kennedy. Is there a risk that if it's a smaller than expected COVID deal, that could hurt Schumer?
Sure. Look, he's trying to cover his left flank, and it's a really large problem. I mean, you have AOC out there saying that you can't cut back the income level of those who are entitled to get these checks, pushing for the minimum wage increase. And you have the president listening to moderates within his own party. He's also listening to some Republicans on that to target the stimulus a little bit more. Everybody knows Joe Biden of yore is somebody who actually liked to negotiate and cut these deals, but he feels pressure from the left as well. So where they end up is going to be very important to Chuck Schumer.
Aisha, meanwhile, Republicans are dealing with much bigger fights over much more ridiculous issues, the issue of whether or not they should double down with liars and conspiracy theorists.
Meanwhile, President Joe Biden is gaining support from Republicans, just not in the Senate. He's gaining support from Republican mayors and governors across the country, as he just met with them a few days ago, and Republican governors and major city mayors are actually backing his $1.9 trillion stimulus check package, which may help grow up his support from the Republican levels from the ground up into the possible Senate, as President Joe Biden has always wanted to pass bills bipartisanly, meaning with Republican and Democratic support, because while he has been in the Senate for over 30 years, he's used to doing that. That's what he wants to do. It's just that, well, no Republican senators want to vote for this bill. Now, if the $15 an hour minimum wage gets thrown out, which very might possibly happen, then that may open the door, if President Joe Biden does it correctly and, stands up and kind of like takes the credit, I'm going to have to take this out, and then he might be able to get some Republican support. But the problem is, if he does that, he kind of alienates some of his own Democrats, basically AOC and Bernie Sanders, who are, basically dying to get this $15 an hour minimum wage. And they're saying that that's what everybody needs and deserves, even though it's going to raise the prices on a lot of things. So he's kind of like in a tough position where he's trying to get Republican support. He can pass it without Republican support, but then down the line, will he ever get Republican support if he's just kind of jamming these stimulus check bills and stimulus packages down their throats? Or if that $15 an hour minimum wage does get thrown out by the parliamentarian and they decide to not go ahead with it because, well, the parliamentarian rules that it's not supposed to be done with the budgetary reconciliation process, then he might be able to get some Republican support. But remember, you need 10 Republicans in the Senate to say yes to get it passed throughout without reconciliation. But maybe he gets 1 or 2 votes in the Senate from Republicans, which helps him meet that 50-51 vote threshold, where maybe you might not get a Joe Manchin or something, and this 1 or 2 Republicans may kind of fill in their shoes or fill in their vote to help us get it passed. And don't forget, this is really just the first stimulus check package under the new Biden administration. There's going to be many. They have already announced their next stimulus package called the Build Back Better package, which will focus on infrastructure and bringing back jobs, and will likely probably be trillions of dollars also, and will have multiple different stimulus provisions in there. As you know, these stimulus packages take time. They simply can't pass them in a week. So the Democrats are already having different committees that aren't working on the current stimulus package already working on the next stimulus package, the infrastructure package or the Build Back Better package, so that they can get this done in a timely manner after this, of which, of course, we know Republicans are probably going to have a fit again when he comes up with another stimulus package that's $1 or $2 trillion that the Republicans only want to spend $600 billion right now. They don't even want to spend $1 trillion. But nonetheless, the Democrats are already working on the next stimulus package that is going to likely come out probably weeks after they pass this third stimulus check package. And this kind of goes along with what President Biden has already told us, that there will be stimulus checks and stimulus packages until the pandemic is over, which Dr. Fauci says at best, very at best, will be the end of this year. So we got a whole year worth of stimulus checks and stimulus packages coming after this, likely at one every month or two or three, something along those lines. So the nice thing is that there's going to be more support coming out. We have these $3,000 to $3,600 child stimulus checks, which is going to help bring 50% of children out of poverty and is going to deliver them $250 to $300 per month for a year. It also may include a one lump sum of 6 months of that money all in one shot, as this money is expected to come in July, but be passed through the third stimulus check package. The other things that we're expecting on the horizon that are pretty much already being worked on right now is, number one, student loan forgiveness. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer and Senator Elizabeth Warren have been pressing for up to $50,000 in student loan debt, and they already have an immediate action plan for 2021. And they say that the president can do this through existing presidential executive orders. So they don't even need to do this through Congress, although knowing President Joe Biden, he'll probably want to do this through Congress, even though Republicans will never support it. So then they'd have to go through the reconciliation process anyways. So if you kind of think about that, why even go through Congress if Republicans aren't going to support it? You might as well just do it through a presidential executive order, of which in the last few days, the White House has said they are actually looking into the details on that right now, if they can do that through a presidential executive order. We're also looking forward to the $200 per month increase for Social Security beneficiaries coming out sometime after this package, which will increase, $2,400 for anybody on Social Security benefits, SSI, SSDI, VA, railroad benefits, everybody under the Social Security umbrella, for at least 2 years, as you can see here, a 2-year part of the Senate Democrats' bold Phase 3 stimulus proposal. These are just some of the additional packages and plans and executive orders and things that might be included as standalone bills or through additional stimulus packages that will be coming out in the future. So make sure you subscribe down below and click the bell icon to all notifications so you don't miss out on important videos coming out. And share this video with your friends and families so that they know about these programs also. A lot of these programs, such as mortgage and rental assistance, you have to sign up for. It doesn't just magically appear in your bank account. And I tell you and teach you guys how to claim those different buckets of money from these stimulus check packages. There's a share button down below. Click that and you can share the link with your friends and family on Twitter, Facebook, email, or anything like that so that they know about these programs also. You can click this top video here to watch my newest stimulus check video next. And this video teaches you how to start your own business selling products on Amazon FBA, where I teach people how to replace their 9-to-5 income selling products on Amazon. Click on one of those videos to watch them next. Thanks, guys, and I will see you in the next video.